Morning, it's the 9th of October and very fresh. In fact, bloody hell, it's cold. I've gone, search out a woolly hat and a coat. My coat's got no zip on though, so. But yeah, very, very fresh. In fact, I reckon on windscreens at 6 o'clock this morning, there could have been a touch of frost. So yeah, I just want to get some roundupping done. We had a good day spraying yesterday. Got caught up with a lot of residuals on what Ollie had drilled this week. Yeah, we've had a real good week. Got caught up with spraying. Got some roundupping to do. And where we're roundupping, it's got vulnerable areas around it where I have to just pick it when either there's no wind whatsoever or wind's in the right direction. So that's to catch up with, so we can get on. We've got about 100 acres to drill next week, or hopefully, if weather will let us, a big chunk of it. And yeah, it's gone in well and coming out. That barley I've just shown you in front at workshop there, it just looks a picture. So right, we'll have a quick look around pigs. Oh, rat trap report. Yeah, we've had 2 now. So there is rats. I came out early up the morning and there was quite a few running about, but I think, well, we're going to try another type of poison, because we've been told what we're using isn't very good at all. So we're going to give that a go. Yeah, one's bloody set, so something's been in among it. But what we're going to do, a couple of people have said, put tunnels so they have to walk through them, you know, instead of skirting around them. So that's the idea. These pigs are doing fantastic. They were a bit sickly when they came, but we've got them drugged up now and they're really shifting. So, oh, it's warm in here. But you can feel the warmth. Yeah, good batch. Yeah, we had a bit of scour. And yeah, I don't know whether it was what they were feeding them or what, but yeah, they were quite loose at one point. Oh, it is, yeah, you can just feel the warmth. Yeah. These are a load of brimming gilts. What I mean by that is they've come in season, so hot boar pigs obviously take an interest in them and give them an hard time, so we just have to bring them out, and when they get through the recycle, put them back in there. So yeah. Tiny bit of frost on ground. So yeah. Yeah, it feels like it. Just having a paddle across to see our oilseed rape. It's struggling. It's there, but it's struggling. It don't want a lot of cold weather, to be honest. It could do with some growing weather to keep sort of growing away from its demons. Because this is them experiments we did when we drilled our rape. We've got a small area of white radish, a small area of stubble turnips, and a small area of fodder radish, and we're just going to combine them because we're just treating them the same like the oilseed rape, and we're going to save the seed. You know, some farms save seed, and some friends of ours will dress the seed for £1 a kilo to clean any well, things what shouldn't be in it out of it. So yeah, fodder radish, that's grown a hell of a lot faster, or white radish actually. It might be the same, fodder radish and white radish, I don't know, but it's got a hell of a lot more vigour than such as the stubble turnips and the rape. But saying that though, I mean, there is a crop. You know, these plants are probably strong enough to withstand all its demons now, but I would like to see a few more of them. But look, that's how bad the flea beetle damage has been. They've just totally plagued it. But anyway, but there is a, oh god, a thin crop. Yeah, a very thin crop. I mean, majority of it's like that, which I'm quite satisfied with. it don't want hammering with pigeons, but if all they make it to next harvest, there will be a crop. But it's made my mind up for next year that I aren't going down the low seed rates again. It's just too big a risk. If you get an infestation of flea beetles like we've had this year, I mean, I would rather have it slightly thicker than as thin as this. So, you know, this was drilled at 2.2 kilo. Most of our winter barley is looking very, very well. In fact, I noticed Andy sent some sheets the other day to put some insecticide on it to control BYDV. So, a virus what's spread by aphids, and I think we're going to have to do them. I know I'm going against my regime of... look at this, where are you going? It's a swan. A lone swan, so why he's flying about like that, I don't know. He's probably looking for the canal down here, the Pockleton Canal, what goes down back of our farm. But yeah, it looks well actually. Just walking over some land our Ollie drilled other day. He's direct drilled it. It was an oat stubble, spring oats last year. They did really well and all, fantastic crop. And he's drilled it with cranium winter wheat, and well, 200 kilo per hectare, and it feels really nice because it can be a horrible wet land, can this, stands water terrible, and it just feels really nice under your feet. So hopefully we're not disturbing the soil too much. There's still a structure to swallow sort of any bad weather we get over winter, so time will tell. Bit of a cover crop update. This field here was spring barley last year, and horrible gnarly land, and we've decided to put it in with spring barley next year, but we've just put a mixture of barley and wheat, barley and rye in it, just to keep the land healthy. Very fine, very lean sowing rate, about 50 kilo per hectare. And look at it, it's always coming up in, just direct drilled it with mowers, it's all coming up in seams. There's a hell of a lot of blackgrass coming and all. As long as that doesn't get any too far in front of itself and produce seeds in late November, I don't think it will. But as long as that doesn't happen, we'll have a lovely green sort of a green base to drill into next year. Like I keep saying, it just feels nice. We haven't had a lot of weather yet, but it just feels really sort of spongy under your feet, if that makes any sense. There's quite a lot of blackgrass coming though, which is good, as long as it don't get too far in front of itself and produce a seed before we terminate it in spring. So yeah, pleased with how that's come. This is one of our AB9 mixes for the elm scheme. Disastrous really, we drilled it and it never rained. It never really rained to get it established. I mean, there's a few bits and pieces come. In fact, there's a few bits and pieces come since it's rained at back end. So I don't know about these elm schemes. By the time you're pissed about, is it worth it? I don't know. And does this, well, we've put this in a scheme because it's terrible land and it doesn't really grow much anyway, so we've picked all them little pockets and grouped them up. We've got about 30 acres worth, and put them in with AB8s and AB9s, which are insect mixes or wild bird mixes, and this will do a bit of good for wildlife in winter. There is a few bits and pieces for them to hide in and gnaw on, you know, for a bit of food for them and a bit of shelter. So but yeah, we'll have to re-drill it with another, I'll choose something else because it wasn't really good for our land, but anyway. But yeah, this is another one of our, oh, this is the way we, this is direct drilled, just totally direct drilled. It's starting to come up in seams. And then we had that toolbar what we made. I don't know, this is where the toolbars come through, and slightly more unlevel than I'd liked. But yeah, this mix consists of a few beans, peas, rye and oats. I can't understand why there aren't more rye and oats showing, really, but we can get it a bit deep. There's all sorts of wildlife this morning. There's 4 deer at top at field. There was 2 buzzards flying around at bottom down here. All sorts of stuff. In fact, it's best part of the day. It's Sunday. It's about, well, I don't think it's 8 o'clock yet. Just paddling about. Totally silent. There's an odd car on main road, but very, very quiet it is, and it's lovely. That's terrible, isn't it? Bloody blackgrass, yeah. There's more than I expected coming, really. Before we put our cover crop in, I maybe should have blasted over with some glyphosate and had a clean up. But yeah, there's more than, I don't know, it's one year you think you're going on top of it, and then next year you see patches like that. I think the toolbar's made a good job, actually, but it is a little bit unlevel. But there's some nice seams of cover coming, so yeah, I put some rape in. We put rape in this field last year in our cover crop mix, and it got really, really lush, you know, really big. And where we had the rape, the barley was twice as good. It really did. It must have fed our cash crop, but we bred a little bit of a slug issue, which we just have to address. In fact, I was talking to a mate of mine, well, we were toying with the idea of looking for some more rollers, some 12 metre set, and he was, we were talking about roll. Well, you'll know him, Richard Furby, tractor dealer, and he does a lot of rolling, crossway over and all, rolls it one way and then crosses it, and he says, yeah, the best job, sort of banking, sort of rattling over drill seams, but I think he's got a point, because I think if you consolidate it to the max, that slug issue and, well, drought, it's got a lot of other issues what benefits, and like you'll get a 12 metre set of rollers that it'll you know, you cover ground. So yeah, if we cross rolled this, I think it'd be a lot better, smoother, more compact. And but Christ, some blackgrass. Right, I'll just pop across. We've got some mowing to do this week. Took a bit of grass off our neighbour, this narrow field. We didn't expect we were going to get nothing on it, off it, but he's yeah, sprayed a breed here, look at the sprayed breed there with glyphosate, and you can see the difference. In fact, Christ, it's embarrassing this, showing you this, and that's on the sprayed stuff. But if you look, there's still a million plants coming, but I don't know, Christ, it's a problem. It's a problem, but eliminating it is nearly, I think, is nearly going to be impossible. Controlling it in, if you've got any land with no blackgrass in, keep it clean, because don't neglect it. Don't, you know, like even from taking a machine out of a blackgrass infested area into a clean field, you know, it's just a no-no. Wash it off. You know, we blow balers and combines off religiously. Phil spends a lot of time blowing combine off to try and stop that, you know, but we're sort of growing an half decent cash crop in the problem, with the problem, by doing different stuff like direct drilling, using different chemistry, chemical wise. We're sort of getting on top of it with wheat, and there is ways, but you just have to find that for your farming policy, like. bit disappointed really. There's hardly out at it. And we've got a shortage of grub because we've used a lot of our hay. What we destined for feeding store cattle and that, we've used it already for taking them to grasses because there was no grass. So yeah, I thought there'd have been more on this, but anyway, not to worry. This is our second field of rape. I think it's acceptable, to be honest. There's enough plants there to survive now, and they're strong enough, I think. But the next field, I've been showing you, I'm embarrassed about it. There's patches where are good, but out of a 20-acre field, there'll be 5 of it where there's next to nought. So what we'll do, I don't know. I ain't knocking it up. Like I was talking to Rich Fairby the other day, and he's knocked, did he say 180 acre? And he's drilled some twice and still to knock it up. So he's a little bit pissed off. But I think that we've got enough plants to sort of leave and there'll be a crop, but no way will we do near 2 ton next year. We did 1.87 ton something this time, and we were very satisfied. But we've just learned that our local oil press is shutting down. There's a big one at Hull. Is it Cargill's at Hull? They're closing, so our rape will have to go right to Liverpool now, so there'll be a bit more haulage to pay on it, which is a bit of a bummer really, but yeah, pleased. Just like to say congratulations for getting this far on this video, because I've just off to a load of rubbish, haven't I? Yeah, good walk around really, and very pleased with what I've seen. There's no slug damage, everything's full crops, there's no drillman's cock-ups. Our Ollie's made a brilliant job of drilling this time, and we've favoured the combi. We've only used the Vardastad for cover crops and put oilseed rape in with it. And to be honest, I don't think it's sucked any more diesel. In fact, we haven't drunk a lot of diesel this time, harvest and drilling up. It's been seems to have been kind on the fuel bill, and different practices as well. Direct drilling you use next to now, you know. So but no, as I say, well done for getting this far. And if you like this video, tick and subscribe, or whatever you do, ring the bell, and we do a couple a week of a farm in East Yorkshire. A lot going on, not too blingy. Real farming, to be fair. A lot of people say, oh, it's real. What you do is bloody